Manever I say ma Pendream TV. Pendream TV there, I see them yopo.
Yo, abusia for Kevin Taylor at the Ensembi Abetudra. Na Ochirimua, Omanpini Abedi Echi, Dr. Mabudu Bawumia. Oshemu pa papa no. Owo yaria efe no autism. Sa autism yaria no. Me mpese me ka ho asem sisi ya. Na Kevin Taylor chire nyoma mu ekeka nsem bi ebobo videos bi chire se Omanpenyin abedi achire aka ne kakra ode ne compare Omanpenyin Mahama na dwumaye obra na oye president ni na dwumaye mu nyoma nsem a yibisa no ne nsem a okaye ene Omanpenyin abedi achire ono susu obeye vice president ni nsem okeka ne mepacho mepese yekọ na yekutie ensem no na yetie yehu de esia like said Kevin Taylor isi kan no si faye enti ansa na be commercial so be subscribe to Pendream TV na like video no e de amame na uwi a wa share video no e de to other platforms so ama foforo ansa atumi akabi ahwe mesraw wa adwenkyire bi afato comment section no ase yanko ne yanko hwe emra sesia
it right now the United Chroma and 2016 journalists in Ghana were questioning the government then. We're questioning the NPP, NDC government, not John Mahama and Adano. Now, there's something interesting happening in Ghana. I'll say my Nikoso. I'll say my Nikoso because from 2019, Ebesinde, Nana Dankwe Kufuado and Bawumia as president and vice, they have not met the press. In 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, the press got a lot of access to the John Mahama administration because the NDC administration then thought to say or believed to say you can never govern without the media. So the media got the opportunity to ask the NDC administration, especially the president and John Mahama. They got the opportunity to question John Mahama the economy and what is going on, what he is doing about it. In fact, at a point, the journalists in Ghana were questioning Mahama about keep both. We're questioning Mahama about how the economy was being run. How nyoma boy ding, how Ghana economy no amount bi hu e. So the media knew who to pose the question to. And the reason why they knew who to pose the question to, because they knew there are people who are supposed to solve the problem. Now this is calculation. This was when John Mahama was president, and this was when the media got the opportunity to question John Mahama on stuff. They looked in his eyes, in his face, to question him about things he had no knowledge about. But as far as now Oya president in 2014, 15, 16, he had to answer those questions because everything stops with John Mahama. Now let's go all the way back in time. How the press, they addressed the Mahama administration, how they questioned the Mahama administration, how they questioned John Mahama. We will compare it to today.
Your Excellency, Afishaba. My name is Kojo Yankson. I'm the host of the Super Morning Show on Joy. Let me just take the opportunity to commend you on this rather fresh and brave method of communicating with the media. Your Excellency, I want to read something that you said in December 2013. You said, I've instructed the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General, Iyoko, and Ministry of Finance to work with the Ministry of, actually I'm not sure which ministry this is, to achieve the following by the end of the year. 1, secure the refund of monies wrongfully paid to or appropriated by any individual or company on contracts with SADA, JIDA, and the GRA. And then you also said that they should initiate legal action against individuals or companies to secure these refunds and or to punish them for any wrongdoing established. This was an instruction that you gave more than 2 years ago. So far, only 14.5 million has been retrieved from one of the many agencies that you mentioned involved in these corruption scandals. These are not the only instructions you've given. You instructed the Attorney General to go about retrieving the money from Bawumia. In fact, even a non-corruption related one, you instructed that state institutions should buy made in Ghana furniture. None.
Good to see you too. Earlier, you mentioned that you alluded to the fact that your gray hair is increasing, and I think it's the otherness about you this afternoon. I want to know from you, since your assumption of office, what you have done to reduce pressure on you, on the presidency. Because if any prominent person dies in this country, they call on the president. A business delegation calls on the president. Anything at all the president is referred to. What have you done to reduce the pressure on yourself to concentrate on the things that you find very important to you, and what keeps you awake at night? Thank you.
My name is Bridget Otu. I work with TV3. I want to go back to the detainees. It looks like it's a topical issue now. And the Christian Council and other Christian groups have been very emphatic, demanding that they are sent back. You've explained, indeed, that Ghana stands to benefit a lot. Would you, or have you considered sending them back? Or at what point would you consider it critical to do so? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I am Ojona Mensah. I report for Radio SYZ. Mr. President, I would like to know the position of Ghana on gay rights. And because many religious leaders have kicked against it, but lawyers are divided on the practice.
Mr. President, thank you very much. My name is Evans Mensah with Joy FM. I just have a quick follow-up on a question on JIDA. Last year on the 9th of December, you said that, quote, the Attorney General Nyoko should recover the outstanding of 40.5 million. I'm just asking, today is 11th of January. Has that been recovered?
Happy New Year. See, this was when John Mahama was president. He opened his doors to the Jubilee House. Then I'm on a week. I saw to be 4 chips. Oh, Evans Mensah. You saw Kojo Kumsen. Said Kumsen. Bridget Otunkwana at this point, with me, I am very blunt with this government. But you see the rest. Oh, Sibia, they were confident to pose question to John Mahama. Yeah. On say, you refuse the anthem. Calculation, no. They were all coming after him. John Mahama answered this. John Mahama answered this. John Mahama answered this. Today, some of these people will sit on Twitter. They will sit on Facebook and tell you, Ekufuado's appointees. Now, wait. Amubusa in some way, what was John Mahama's body language? Was he snobbish? Otie Omo. Omo answer. What did John Mahama say back? Did he have the patience to speak to Ghanaians through the media? And the question they were asking him, was John Mahama so down to earth to listen and also to answer as a president? Kai, from 2019, before 2018, 2019, Ekufuado and Bawumia, they've not met the press. These same press are here. This is John Mahama's response to these people.
We import petroleum products. We currently are not importing crude because the Tema oil refinery has been down. But then we also gain revenue from exports of crude oil as a result of the share that we have in Jubilee with the Taluk partners. Now, increasingly, when the price went up to about 93, revenue from crude oil was becoming a very significant part of our budget. With the drop from above 90 to about 32 currently, or 33, we have lost billions of cedis into the national treasury. But at the same time, it has reduced the price of petroleum products on the market. And government took a decision in July last year to deregulate the price of petroleum products. And so with the fall in the price of light crude, there has been an accompanying reduction in crude oil price, in petroleum product prices since July last year. Now, what has happened is from the time that we started a deregulation and the last increase in transport fares, price of petroleum products have gone down by more than 37%. And so even with the introduction of the levies, the energy levy, at an average of about between 26 and 27%, we still are below the deregulation point by almost 11%. And so we've not gotten to where prices were even before. Now, let's take the energy levy. Utilities have accumulated debts over the last almost 15 to 20 years. And as a result of this accumulation of debt, it has choked the credit lines of the utility companies to an extent that VRA today cannot go to any bank and establish an LC, because I think they owe virtually every bank in Ghana. As the line got choked here, they went and opened a new account in another bank. And then they'll take the credit until it gets choked. Then they open a new account with another bank. So now no bank, any bank they go to say, hey, anymore, you know. Now, if we want a sustainable power sector, we have to deal with that debt. You must deal with that debt. And how are we going to deal with that debt? I don't have that money. If I had, I would pay on behalf of VRA. And so we need to take that money from somewhere. And so the point is, at the time when God has blessed us to have the price go down 37%, it was still even 11% lower. We take a little money and say, look, let's all contribute and pay off this debt, because we all use that power that VRA generated. I don't see what really we have done wrong. Aside from that, a portion of the debt, a portion of the levy is going to go to the road fund to pay arrears to contractors and also invest in the road sector. Happily today, more than 90%, as a result of my indigenization policy, I have harangued the road ministry. More than 90% of contractors working in our road sector are Ghanaian, our own people. And so if that money goes to them, they are going to invest it in building roads. And when they are building the roads, what will happen? It will lead to employment. Masons, steel benders, cement sellers, carpenters, truck operators, excavator operators, bulldozer operators will find jobs. And so it's a reinvestment in our own economy. That money is not going outside. It is being reinvested in our own economy. It's going to our road contractors. And our road contractors are going to invest it here. And if they make a profit, they're going to invest that profit here in Ghana.
This is a precedent. Also, Mukrampo amun follow Ghana politics, energy. Also, Okasa Wotiasie. There was no paper there, because he sits through every cabinet meeting. He speaks to every sector minister. He was involved in the running of the government. And he is able to answer questions on his feet. He wasn't waiting for some press secretary somewhere at the Jubilee House to release a statement on paper. He opened his doors to the media. And this is somebody we sit in Ghana and say, Obeye Deng. This is first class governance, leadership. And you know what hurts? Sanko for we are no any opportunity. Era Flagstaff House to question the president. You know, they are still alive. They are all sitting on radio and TVs today. John Mahama's problem as a president in those times was that he was too honest. Na okano kredodo. Na on TSC I was Ocha Ghana for because John Mahama worked under Atta Mills. And on Atta Mills 19, who say there was nowhere Atta Mills original platform, so because of their trying to win sympathy vote into Atta Mills light. So I believe John Dramani Mahama learned a lot from Atta Mills that hey, if you want to govern and govern well and not to entertain unnecessary pressure on your government, you need to let the people know the truth. John Mahama was too truthful to Ghanaians, and into the basin there, the NPP cannot get tapes of John Mahama lying. Assembly what say after John Mahama ho NPP 4 can be an busremuka hearsay. Yatia and almost John Mahama say or say Asante 4 Ghana for onti obi John Mahama can free him with a num enkofobi ne create to radio so. Ya say John Mahama be na no say sebio or the go the kwan wa Asante mem kura Asante 4 eni so amanfo ene kato John Mahama so. Ya say John Mahama say you don't funu. John Mahama was making a statement and telling Ghana for say baby I am versatile. I can take bullet, I can basically deliver because that is the position I am in. I cannot sit here and say I will not take criticisms. Until at the end of the day, it's immune to a lot of things. And almost saw John Mahama and say, oh, you don't funu. Nobody in Ghana can bring a tape. John Mahama atro with TVs. Nobody. When he was vice and when he was president. You see how Jandam any atro ediabedruha. Today, yet Ghana, these same journalists are here. Mumbuso must say, how would they question the president and the vice president? Near Tikrumha, and I'm going to show you a video today. And Mahamudu Bawumia in 2014, 15, 16, Bekachere or Ghana say, we ura malata market. Now, oko malata market no in toast and tomatoes. Bakumi miensa 20 Ghana those times on TSC or say 2 Ghana or 5 cities. I'm a journalist now radio so Oko Peace FM, Hello FM, Inshira FM, Adom FM, OK FM, Peace FM, the Akan radios, Kesbin FM, Sa radio Akan for diano. They were saying to John Mahama, say, Mr. President, in toast boy ding, meaning wa bambu no enye. They were not asking, say, in toast, the way to need to saying. John Dramani Mahama, when he was in power, Bawumia ka say okomala tape. Tibia oto tomatoes or malata na chirese the whole Ghana tomatoes boy ding. But we are here today. The MPP media, the MPP station, Channel 1 station led by Bernard Avle and those co-minini boys. Today they were having a very sensitive conversation. And that conversation is got to do with Eddie and Yoma Abodinha Ewo Ghana. And Omokanya Mani Bedru tomatoes. Now, the conversation got to a point. Capito, El Capitano. I am also doing my job, Capitano. This weekend I saw you. I know friend to my. Now, I want us to go back and listen to this conversation. Now, you say this conversation we are having today in 2014, 15, 16. When the same Bawumia and the person president, time of raising issues at tomato boy deno, were we asking questions or we basically determined from there, say John Mahama and the NDC administration were not delivering. This is City News, led by Bernard Avle. I must say they are having a conversation about Ghana's economy. Now, and then Omo Egdi in Komobi, I want us to listen to the conversation. After that, I'll ask a few questions. Mr. S, do you have the video for me? I am not seeing it on my system. Mr. S, I am not seeing the video on my system. Jack, you guys, do you think I should fire Mr. S or Mr. P? Because this was supposed to be part of the production. Mr. S, Mr. P, I am not seeing this, so somebody will lose their job. I know you sent me the piece. Maybe I'm the one who will lose my job, but I'm not finding it in the system. So, Mr. S, Mr. P, point the video out to me. But what I was trying to say, okay, team, it looks like team. Yeah, I don't have the video. I don't have it. Yeah, so if you guys can pull the video for me. Who should I fire right now? Somebody's going to lose their job right now. But I know my team, they'll pull the video for me right now. Now, the conversation today is about Aye Nyoma Nebo Aye Ding. And Nyoma Nebo Aye Ding, oh, my team, they have it already. Sorry, team. I'm sorry. I think the boss needs to be fired. I think they need to fire me. I mean, mom, that they need to fire. It is not them. They already have the video for me. Now I just say, me mom, I also fire me. Now let's listen to the conversation. Our City News, and it's got to do with senior nyama bo ding. Mummy a conversation. Now yentie how they have come to a conclusion. Is it the fault of the government? Is it the fault of the traders? Is it the fault of the abain? We are perceiving. Is a conversation the same as before? Now you to me at the Achichere Ghana no. So team, like team, I'm struggling. All right, I'm in. Okay, thank you. Mama Yanko tie a conversation. I already have it on the system.
Now, at the Carnation market, 30 pieces of tomatoes, we used to be sold for 20 Ghana cedis, was now selling at the same amount for 6 pieces, Bernard. Look at the reduction.
6 pieces of tomato for 20 cedis. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for
yes.
20. But they don't tell us the size.
No, so they said, so basically, I mean, you picture it, they said 20. Formerly, they were giving you 30 pieces, right? For 20 cedis. Now they are giving you just 6 pieces.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
exactly.
6 for 20 cedis.
Exactly. And then they go on to say, while a basket of tomatoes which sold for 50 Ghana cedis and 60 Ghana cedis has gone up significantly, trading at 600 Ghana cedis and 700 Ghana cedis. That's
but you know the problem with even this whole thing. The way we are even measuring the sale is prone to be violated.
It's
like
not standardized.
So if you say 6 pieces or 30 pieces,
what size?
What size? In certain countries, 1 kilogram, you get it, or one standard size of a bag, or 1 gram, or whatever. This approach of a basket. Well, what is a basket? There are different types of baskets. You know, even the so-called olunka is that we are not advanced.
So the conversation is simple. City 4 Samens and then Nkwara Beradavle is leading the spark. Makachiro City Channel 1, especially Channel 1 Gabidia. Almost Twitter TV is no more show. Now Samens are from say you are speaking about Bawumia too much. Stop. Now conversation out to know what kind of bro for you say. Almost show no so say oh first no Mahama was no na a year tomatoes. We tomatoes baku mienu miensa ena enum ensia 30 pieces in krankasem esone 30 pieces no na de 20 Ghana and under Bawumia ene ekufuado no and they use 6 pieces tomatoes nkwa insiama wa 20 Ghana. Before that no na ye 20 first kra na 30 pieces and the first na Mahama teso na 30 pieces ye tomatoes nkwa 30 1 2 3 4 5 30 ye de mawa na 20 Ghana Mahama time. Ebaya bedu say afenom yi 20 pieces mawa na 20 Ghana ende under Bawumia and abozege uyi tomatoes nkwa 6 ubenya 20 Ghana and sana with tomato 6 tomatoes. Now under Bawumia ende sa basket na first no bucket no ye nyina enim uko tomato fuma owo mo bucket a omudi susu tomatoes no ye nyina enim time Mahama teso ai ba bedu ekufu adom time na omuyi bucket ne ba kwa na 60 Ghana and under Bawumia ekufuado this government no tomatoes for ma no bucket na omude susu tomatoes no 600 Ghana titisika 6 million and Bernard Avle catch say na momianhwa de bi o sibia mo bobo no mo ndwin say size no so ka ho mo hu ni say okọ amanone a Adebia Obeton this scale so ansana yehubo no and the Bernard Avle for the first time in his life he's asking about the sizes of the tomatoes and the weight. 2012 13 14 15 these people were sitting on TV, they were complaining about food prices. They did not talk about the weight and size of the particular food. But because today they want to do everything possible to protect Bawumia's government, Ekufuado's corrupt government, they have brought the conversation all the way down to say, "Yeni Ghana for cry 34." Adentina ende ye de a bucket as measure tomatoes. Na adentina ye measure the weight of tomatoes and sani a price. Bernard Avle. That is his view now. That is where he is coming from. Until he has made the conclusion, say, unim, oba America, oba Europe, oba Asia, omudie, eduani bia obetobia no scale down. O Bernard Avle, oyem awuneni aboa te se me. Ukuroma wona. Da bena akoti sa awuna fo dwom. Ye ton tomatoes ye resi scale so apart from bucket. Da bena akọ eye awuna fo dwom ekọ malata ko hu se adwene ye the two scales so ne ton. Time na John Mahama teso NDC was no. Ohun se obi akoto alguntugui am ye the good scale so ansa na yaton ama no. Da ben na ye bedu sa point na ehun se eduane boa edin ye ntumi mblemu aban no na ye mblemu den edwadifo no efri se or they are not using scale. And that is the conversation. But I thought to say, Bawumia ko malatana oba na oka say, wako say 3 tomatoes 2 Ghana or malatano. You people concluded that Ghana as a nation there is too much hike in food prices and that the government is bad. This is how low the hypocrisy in our journalism. This is how bad the journalism looks. Hey, why not smarter? These people are just there to protect a dying government. They are there to make sure they will use that to destroy your future. President, we didn't consider the sizes and weight of foodstuff before coming on radio to say but we are trying to find technicalities to use brofo to say abrofo no use scale. Abrofo de okobu kroma ansa na be price aduane ma no ye the two scales so ye hu weight no atare ho ansa na wato nti esia no we cannot blame the NPP government too much because we are cake ye nkurasefo ye nimbie ye nti enda no what we are doing is we need to go back and use scales before we can come and sit on radio and say tomato 6 20 Ghana in Ghana. We cannot say aduane boy ding until we get scale and sizes of food. Nambe tuyamoka. Mameka bi binchira mo. Omo amuse omo ye mu PhD ni omo ye research no. When somebody is even doing research in America, let's say he's doing research about food security. Say oye research to America. Na say opeso who say research do oye no. In fact, a researcher, he can apply it everywhere. He does not only sit in America to do that research. That is why majority of the time, professors and people who are so much into research, when they are conducting research, they don't conduct it or they stick to one particular location or geographical area. What they do is, so because obey survey and or research about tomato production and how quick or how we consume it and how it grows quickly. So or American professor and I say or a researcher in America, after conducting research, that person travels to other countries and continents to do the same research because they know, say at the end of the day, even though the food or the produce or the same thing they are talking about, it has the same texture, the same color, the same purpose it serves. It basically serves different needs in different places. Those people sell or those products are sold different in different markets. They know, say in America, transportation of Indiana is different from transporting Indiana in Ghana. So when they are doing research, they don't sit at one place. They make sure that there are variations in what they do. And sana omoba the holistic job name will say, okay, this researcher here say, so oko Ghana tomatoes are better the 6 cities, Oba America are better the 12 cities. If we say in Ghana, say tomato no nipa ne kofa okofa na senkregwa at the end of the day ekwan ne nye obefa cars 30 obeba beda kwem obeda hotel they beto the taxes the petrol but America a company be and directly to the grower and I said the farmer in the company the car or in the truck na omo de den omo tam omo de buy and de bomb warehouse. So the mode of transporting these products they vary. You cannot say in Ghana, say, we are discussing tomato boy, and that when you go to America, because they put their food on scale, because Ghana doesn't put its food on scale, the prices we are saying, it's very, very questionable. You are being foolish. You are doing politics. In the United States of America, Ura supermarket, your organic and unorganic, non-organic food. You know, the prices are different. But when you come to Ghana, there's nothing like organic and non-organic. Aduane na Ghana ni nyina is grown from the soil. Na nse na mate se mo pese mo de GMO efra mo aduane. But aduane bia ye aduane organic bia de aduane wasase nim e ma yetwa. Inti you cannot even compare the prices of food in Ghana to the price of food in the United States. America, when you go buy fish in the supermarket, your wild fish, your wild chicken, so there are varieties. So it is not about America, it is about Ghana, baby. The question is, at the internet, tomato at this price. We are buying tomato at this price because the economy is not being run well. People are spending more money on trying to bring in the tomatoes to sell. The only thing a trader so obeto no nyoma mu say ye toto nyoma mu ye to petrol mu trader no beto no nyoma mu efri say sika na ode kwa akoto eye den aduane na ba no eye car na de beba eye petrol na beba say dollar no kosoro tomato be kosoro eye automatic. So sometimes mummy enjoy jaundice journalism now yen speaking to the issues. It is Ghana we are talking about. When I hear people analyze Ghana politics, now they compare the European American politics, I say you are foolish. And MPP are very good at these things. So we start Bawumia about what we are going through today. Also, when you go to America, when you go to other European countries, when you go to African countries, at the end of the day, Bayfort to Ghana or a different or pretty different from Bayfort to Spain. Ghana Bayfort, the operations are different from Italian Bayfort. Ghana Bayfort Pendream, Italy Bayfort the development. Ghana Bayfort, omo pe the entetenam, omo penam bi dise kufu ado monam, osafo ma afo monam, omo penama edwan. Eye Italy abrofo, omo vampires, omo Bayfort, omo pe moja air fresh. So you cannot compare Ghana's economy and food to what they are selling in Asia and the prices and scale. We need to condemn the government for making the economy hard. That is why food is expensive. Nankamuya conversation when the basic conversation people were supposed to have and say, how did we get here for tomato to sell that at that price? Why are food stuff expensive? Because we were told that planting for food and jobs, its main purpose was to solve this problem. And it's been almost 8 years. So you can't sit on radio and say that, are we scaling? Are we sizing? You need to tell us, I said, the government has failed the people. The government took the people's money and misused it. Planting for food and jobs was supposed to solve this problem. Planting for food and jobs. And then Ghana go say eduane adia full in Ghana. But today eduane na adia ne boy ding. So why are we sitting here blaming scale and sizes? We are supposed to blame the people who took our money to make things easy. So the government and the government policies were wrong in the first place. Let's be bold and be straightforward with the issues and stop trying to divert the people's attention and bring in unnecessary argument and examples. Sabio, I am not a repository of intelligence, of knowledge. You two don't hold all the knowledge in this world. But we should be rational enough. Apply common sense enough. Say, that's how intelligent human beings who are honest have conversation. A government came. The government did its job. And what Bernard Avle, any other journalists there say, they are shifting the blame on the sellers. Mami a onoko fa ntosi there, eden na blame no. Mami ka bibin show in Ghanaian market. Se yento nyomem se petrol bon kosro na ye ton eye den eye eburo baako 1 cedi na se wo ya wa adwene se yento nyomem won ko a wo beton wo buro 3 cedis obi anto. That is how it is. You cannot blame the sellers. The sellers are selling according to the price on the market. Say yen nyina malata yetike tia na yen nyina ton eburo baako 1 cedi. Now won ko ya wa adwene se wo de o pese o ton eburo 3 cedis a you will not get anybody to buy because majority of the people will be selling a Bruno at 1 cedi. So when you go to the market and the prices are at that level, you need to understand that it has affected every single seller. So you cannot turn around and blame the seller. What has the seller done? The seller is selling according to how much he or she spent on in purchasing those products. So we should blame the government. We should let the government know. We should let Ghanaians know that this government has been a bad government. Let's stop sugarcoating and glazing unnecessary grammar to hide the canker in the system. The Nana Adodankwa Ekufuado Bawumia Abozege foolish government, they have deceived Ghanaians. Every policy they put out there has failed or was a failure because we failed to scrutinize these people. Anytime a ball, the journalists, their interaction with John Mahama and how John Mahama took his time to explain things to them. Today, they are not even getting the opportunity to speak to the dwarf. They are now sitting and waiting for the joker to come and tell them that, oh, I said this yesterday, but I was joking. That is what they are waiting for. Bawumia will come and fool himself. He will come and dance. He will come and go and play. He will go and play Ludo. He will go and fool himself and come. He will come say nonsense to the clergy. The next day he will say, I was joking. So why should we take such jokers serious? We are serious here as a people, my friends. Let's stop this kind of, corner journalism. Let's be blunt. Let's be blunt the same way we were blunt in 2012, 13, 14, 15. Let's be honest. Let's be direct. Let us be honest to the people. Now, come and speak the real truth. Now, John Dramani Mahama has spoken. And what has he spoken about? John Mahama. Bim.
We will start the plans and feasibility for the establishment of a new city to which we would move government services and agencies in order to decongest our capital city, Accra. We'll redesign growing metropolises like Aflawo, Kaswa, and others across the country into modern markets and trading centers. As has already been estimated, the Ghana Police Service alone, at its present capacity, will require nearly 25,000 new and additional personnel to manage the 24-hour economy additional working shifts. And keep in mind that the police service as it stands now, even without the 24-hour economic initiative, already requires additional staff and motivation to meet the optimum police to population ratio. We'll adopt a multi-stakeholder approach because the beneficiaries of the 24-hour economy are diverse. Unemployed youth, including unemployed graduates, farmers, traders, small and medium-scale businesses, students who need vacation jobs, and the underemployed. No one will be left out. I'm determined to provide the necessary incentives such as favorable tax measures, cheaper and reliable power, financial support through the Ghana Exim Bank, oil revenue, and the National Women's Bank, which we will establish to soften the ground for both public and private participants who sign up to the 24-hour economy initiative in order to have a smooth takeoff.
It's as simple as that. A new city is going to be put together. The 24-hour economy is looking at expanding the public sector, especially the police, the security agencies. A new city is important now. Accra is choked. We should open up the city. We need to drag it. Send a government business, we can centralize it. We cannot, at the end of the day, sit in Accra. Abraham say you cannot even move from Medina all the way to Dansuman without spending over 3 hours on the road. We need to find a way to liaise different parts of Ghana to the capital. Send your business will be done easily. Building a new city is important. And international last Mekacha will say somewhere like Segleme, anka 2,000 houses in complete ya anka companies beko. Anka nurse for be to alcohol, anka police for be to alcohol, anka soldier for be to alcohol, anka normal teachers be to alcohol, anka Ghana ejuma for civil servants be to alcohol. The moment on be to alcohol, companies will be forced to open up branches there. Banks will be forced to go open branches there. Different companies are company that serve human needs. Basic services, they were all going to move there. So technically, that alone could have built a city. And gradually, we will be able to move some of government offices to such places. When somebody says, we need a new city, go to Egypt. They are building a new city. Dubai is building new cities. We need that. We need to expand a chrono to a point whereby every single place will be effective enough. When it comes to supporting the national agenda, you need every part of the nation to be effective, to be included. We have to have an inclusive nation whereby every single part of Ghana no obia bibia yet to me come together through the little connections no we cannot sit in Accra and pressurize Accra, and at the end of the day, some pressure na that Accra no ema business impo enkosu ye. And these are some of the very important initiatives you can call policies. In 2014, NDC in Ghana 4 came together to put in the National Development Planner. We are all supposed to, at the end of the day, adhere to. Now, from 2014, as Segle Mebesiwo, Senka 2,005 houses in Kisiri and Kende, there were almost 15,000 houses around that area. Yes, that means pharmaceutical companies will go there and open shops. Nightclubs will be there. You will have transportation system. Somebody might end up going there to establish a transportation system. Buses will be going there. And yebenya people setting up bigger offices. Their companies' warehouses will be there. That is how you stretch a nation. That is how you open up a nation. And Kwasiafo whereby this project has stalled for the past 8 years. They are even thinking some beton seglemeno amomuhu. Ejimi phone edimu so ye kan amomenka obulu nyo. Ebulu MPP party ebulu domi boli ebulu edomi obo Jimmy Amaneya. They are a bunch of foolish men and women who are greedy and tribal. They don't want to open up for Ghanaians. We voting for them to get opportunities. It is not difficult to do it. It is all about you determining to do that. And John Mahama has shown from his track record, say, these are things that can be done. Nenchi nankasa John Mahama re. Akoko kono untumiwe. Tafrache, denchem eno, John Mahama ebu denchem. Bepleo akoko kontra John Mahama etefle. John Mahama wi nenchie no ankramu ya kano edome nenchie dome. John Mahama re na akoko kon. These are things we need to be listening to. Now John Mahama, he says something very important about the banking.
And then I have Kofi Banafu, who says, did I hear the former president talk about restoring licenses of collapsed banks? Yes, you did, Kofi. I said that we're going to go through the processes that led to the collapse of the banks. And for the cases in which those closures were unjustified, we would restore the licenses. We are looking at a tiered banking system. One of the reasons for the closure of these banks was that they could not raise the capital reserve ratio that the Bank of Ghana had asked for, which was 400 million Ghana cedis. Now the point I make is that we should have a tiered banking system where you have the big banks who should have a reserve ratio of 400 million. You can have mid-sized banks that should have a reserve ratio of say 200 million, and you can have micro banks that with a reserve of 80 million to 100 million can have a license to operate, because all these banks cater to different segments of our business environment. And so the Unilevers and others who are big companies can deal with the class A banks, but the small and medium enterprises need smaller banks that are able to give them service. And because of the risk involved in small and medium enterprises, of course they would have more risk, and that's why they are the kinds of banks that somebody would close down. And so yes, we're going to look into the processes that led to the closure of those banks. I know that some of those cases are in court. We are hoping that the cases will be adjudicated, and when they are adjudicated, if we have taken an unbiased look at the circumstances in which they were closed, for those that were unjustified, our government will be willing to restore their licenses so that they can continue with their work.
The John Mahama Kenya has got to do with the banking closure now, banking sector cleanup now. NPP so omabeno. Mama minjum na yentiasie. We mu na etie. This is how you build a nation. Amanfo e di omadwene a emuda ho e kasa na yedwudwam. Now, John Mahama say banks na yegugu no a Ekufuado mobile ufuriatamo because they wanted to destroy some Ghanaians in their head, no. Now Mojin say almost support to end this now. Omonida Hosheda Gu in Juma. Nipa over 10,000 Ghanaians and the Omunina they are jobless. Or see, Senyamebua nasa NDC ba power a simple thing. Sa bank no no ombenya botre ashemu. Now what they are going to do is say banks are omushemu a omuhu se enye kwan paso ena yegu no sa banks in your ombedi licenses be momo ebi mo ho they deserve to be closed. Or say banks na omuba no mo ye investigation thorough investigation no mo ye process nim banks are na eni kwan say yegu no banks bi o ho utumu say Ekufuado ne busuafo bo mu tiri mu po so omo be hye de egu no o say sa banks na omo ni twaka omo ndi boni bia no sa banks ne de ono na ban no obeden or the sa banks na license beba omo emo masa ye dwuma afa Ghana fo dwuma na osaka bibi ma menjudwom na ti ase o say banks e wo Ghana no e wo say ti ase say e bank bia any clientele ono mu di dwuma yaka clientele so amefo monkandi mechi clientele so amefo sa na yaka no yaka say customers eno na wa broni sa kan clientele no John Mahama say bank bia wo Ghana bia no e wo customers ani omudi adwuma say u bank bi say Unilever u bank company bi say Unilever omne banks akese na didwa u company bi say Equia Liquid Soap omo bank kitwe bia savings and loans bia omne omudidwa yawo edwadifo a omwo infinfin a omso banks bia commercial banks bia omni omudidwa enti ose the mistake a MPP for en say omu group banks ni nyina say omu nyina no e wose omunya something we call capital. In fact answer na obe operate bank of Ghana no Bank of Ghana e wose omu make sure say o sika te say 400 million ode baba be dey ababe to te say guarantee. Enti saa sika no wode to ho a in case say o bank no asem ba ho a na de saa sika no etuatua enkofo ka enti saa de na Ekufuado mu gina so say bank bebre wo Ghana saa 400 million no omuni omantua enti egu no but also tia say eba banka sika de ne client anase omomni omni dwa no omde beto no ene na ma bank ni nyamfa so enti majority of the banks are not sebio omo tie bia no muntie nwie no na dwumadi a omo ne den omo ne omo clients edi obu ha ne client abeje 100 million Ghana cedis ensi wono the next 3 months no also dey ebia 20 million Ghana cedis ba enti our clients are be 300 a otumi project say within 4 months no obetumi nyesa sika na akotua and that base capital no. Majority of the banks, the time Ekufuado Moba Abemuno, now they were in the process of raising those monies. But Ekufuado can say no. They were not even going to sit with those banks for them to even raise the $400 million cedis. John Mahama said as simple. You ain't been treaty Unilever the bankers at the CBA ye treaty Equia Liquid Soap bankers. Now I see a baby be a friend of banking a friend tier banking. Now, opese o class banks no. Sebio kwame ata otwitrotro. Baby a o saving sika. Entumi nya to say obi to say kwame despite baby o saving sika. The reason is say kwame despite ekoji loan na sika ohia no savings and loans of ntumi fama no. Say Ibrahim Mahama ekoji loan na sika ohia no some credit union bank bi entumi fama no. But as we speak, say Ibrahim Mahama Hiesika or Stanchart, Barclays, or Hiesika or Ghana Commercial Banker, because those banks are bigger banks with bigger clientele, no, they have enough money. Move to me, ama loan akasie. It is John Mahama say, what now buying the band say banks no, say 400 million no, say yeah the 400 million banks akasie so muntia fine. Now ufi banks akɛseɛ na your banks bi ɔmo yɛ intermediate ɔmo mfimfini ɔmo nhyɛda nsa ɔmo nhyɛda nso ebia sankɔfo no yɛma ɔmo ntua ebia 200 million ɛte sɛ guarantee money na yɛba fam na yɛbɛduru ɛyɛ credit union saa smaller banks a ɔmo ne yɛ maame no a ɔmo tɔn mɔmɔne ne tomatoes ɛne kobi wɔ dwom edili de bi a ɔmo kɔgye 2000 3000 no ɔmo so ebia bɛtuma ɔmo tua ebia 50 million now deɛ bɛyɛ ne sɛ saa banks deɛ hwɛ ɔmo ahoɔden ne yɛde ɔmo deɛn yɛama ɔmo tua ɔmo guarantee money. That is what is going to help the banks to be able to stay afloat. Because you cannot tell a third division club, say, only a premiership club to say Real Madrid, and having the same resource. They are supposed to pay their players the same amount of money. The moment you bring such a law, third division club ni begu. The Real Madrid now and other premiership clubs now, banks like I said, they might be able to survive. And Nintina, John Mahama say, so nya akwenya na osa ebe the president. The Western say our banks no according to pedigree any your big no and I say your coverage no sa guarantee na ubetua no o kase e na be kire sika kase a ubetua de ato because abo so e na de takra so in this way stand chart we Barclays we D&D bank na say o client no so now you deal with bigger companies you need to at least your capital now also require guarantee or Bank of Ghana na I will say big. Now say uye a contemporary bank na say o client ni nyina ye bojo a omotonton ko bi ni danyado a you don't expect to say a contemporary enso benya 400 million the same Akoma Bank of Ghana. A contemporary can pay 50 million because a contemporary the client and the client base no their income is not as big as banks akɛseɛ no in the John Mahama so ba obe breaky banks no o kɛseɛ ɛno o coverage no de how much you pay to Bank of Ghana and that is how it's supposed to be. But we cannot just say because this is a bank ninti or say obi akotua 400 million. It does not work like that. It does not work like that because all the banks are not taking or their clientele are not the same. They are a manner sebio omuti dwom they don't save at Barclays Bank. They are not going to go save at the big banks because the interest rate to crown bonus or loan are on to me. And in fact, at the end of the day, the charges close at that bank. Credit union a very flexible loan plan. Credit union every single day bet me raho ediska koto akoyiska obesoko kwanso Thursday kra na onye radio o raho benya kakra edetu kwan. But the banks up there dealing with Unilever the target to deal with Unilever clients. Into the concentration more Unilever enye obana oton tomatoes boasi jumno. Into we need to understand where money nyoma John Mahama so pesa oye send the beya Ghana titru edwedifo ma entira na okaso obesa bia friend Women's Bank. Sebio ye bia Women's Bank asene kire se ma bank. Into oba bia wudi dwa sika kakra wo nsem sebio obeso rekoto bank o saje den loan no sa Women's Bank no unji enjinsi ho interest ni ho ni nyina se obekire se edwuma na wo ye no ekoso obekire se obetuma manage sa okwa insiwo no be less than 1% into so kwaji 200,000 e also tia se busu bibia e bi obetua 1000 Ghana as say okwaji loan a big banker interest rate no 30% awo oba auto tomatoes ananya do won't tia. Into this is some of the things sa nyoma we no and asebio ema ehiafo Ghana fo ehiafo na omo fo no omo hiha omo ya wadwadefo bebra ende omo ntumi nkwa kwan so efri se on ntumi nkwa Ghana commercial bank nkoji loan interest rate no ntumi tia ya wo ma bebra omo ye bojwa na credit union omo ne omo ye adwuma ende ekufo de ogu no nti ende sa oba no ntumi hwe ne ba wo school nti ekufo da ka cho say ma oba ne meda free SHS na mba ma emfa no se ne be ya me de benya power na nso san ka oba no tumi ko credit union ekoji loan edidi ne dwuma on person obi abehwe ne ba wo school nti John Mahama say sa nyoma we bi na osamutie we bi na yade kekere man we bi na eba form ema Ghana for sebio omunya opportunities to be themselves, to be able to control their own lives. This is what you have to be listening to, and these things that John Mahama are very important. These are the fine lines changing the lives and destiny of Ghana for into uton nkatie uton abe uton tomatoes John Mahama say oba bank na esi wudwom na utumi koji credit union loan wo hono sa bank ne be sa back if you say Bank of Ghana sikana na omoji bank akese no ye beti sa bank ne so momutumi operate eno ano no mo ana mo ye adwuma banks ayeyi modi no you have to understand say get your CVs ready. Banks are going to open up legitimate banks omo betumi akati omo code according to their size. We need to build a nation ebetumi support obia. Over America, your billionaires, your millionaires, your hundredaires, your centenaires. But at the end of the day, every single American who an avenue ebetumi aboano. And no ena I was say you implement it and make sure say Ghana for na moto abano you we here for you we sika for you omo mo mfifi I was say to me drafty and I say crafty policies are obia ho ebetumi akom enya ho mfaso John Mahama kasa no na asimesi Erade agoba. Hey, ye Jimmy o. Ye Jimmy o. Me say, Nyankopo anka so te heaven a. O tweet na say, hey, channel we dey me bie yo. Ye Jimmy brutal. We na person we the president no. Ni message nyina ni o. Ni message nyina guru there onye problem. When guru wa dey. Ono there or position in the school wom. Anyway, we say test confirm Jimmy more. So continue ma Bawumia on beto ama na eno ano no. Guru onye bone. Guru there so no there when we say MPP vote Jimmy. Eti MPP there de bia soroku ni Jimmy inti eno ane say obeje mic na aka say test confirm meto aba ma Jimmy no. Meto nyoma no monto ma me eno na ope Guru. Last year say they no na ha madafu pa madafu bi che say on sponsor na so ya Jimmy kofie na Jimmy onyum na carry egu. So basically this is what we talk about every day. John Mahama eka serious stuff na ya wo se tenase ne adwene na yetumi hu se we ne best Ghana no na Jimmy ogina stage me ka na be ma wo na Ghana ye ka Ghana no sa Bawumia hu Ghana se ye ka de na ewu Bawumia na onamo no ohu Ghana se ka na a whole vice president nkwara ejo what TV so a whole vice president Baben na nkwara jojo wo message ni sen a was it is possible. A whole vice president. Bawumia is on the line of autism. I'm telling you, with all due respect to autistic people. Autistic kufuado or line so on such a mount to your casana studied pa or line so. And I don't have a problem with that. And I don't hate people with autism. But I'm trying to see symptoms of that thing in him. Our line is so crazy or gina line in them. Because this is despicable. And the way this guy has brought our politics so low. I just say Jimmy Ghana. We don't understand what is actually going on. I say we have been turned into fools to believe say when people are fooling it is norm or a normal. It is not normal. When John Mahama speaks, when he takes his time to break things down to us, when he's telling us dear yenye dear osie ye yes saya brabono na akwa we gina stage ne tu nyina fu ne tu nyina ne boxers mu nyina afọ ena nkwara di ne ho agro Ameka bi nchiro Bawumia online so on se Kufuado oko eye den eye special school no Bawumia online so na uni eni a onye smart a unhu ogina line so into okasa na oye nyoma na oye sade na also gina stage na oye yesi na online so omo ye expecting these things they can see or line so and I can say this, I don't have any problem with autistic people. But it is always good when people accept to say, maybe this is what I'm suffering from. Then people like us, we can help. Then the world can accept them and then embrace such people and find ways to help them. I feel Bawumia is hiding a syndrome from us. He's standing on the autistic line. I have family members, they're autistic. And sometimes, I tell myself, say, if these things were noticed earlier on, and the help would have given them, and can do baby, and these kind of things, if you are not smart, you will not see it. Original line so pepe. Or the such a mount to me, on such a mount to me, or kasa utmi says aquano unya special eye to see so ubi was autistic line so Bawumia original sa line so or line so ekufuado de on the end they track akra ekufuado obe 65 68 on the utmi hu Jimmy the bar on the but Bawumia dear no, it is excitement that shows it. Say the nijia na afe a poppy up. The inconsistent consistency of Bawumia behavior muno, it is showing say he's on the line. Ojinaso. A little shift obemuni, and we need to be very, very careful how we select our leaders. These are things that we need to look out for. And especially when somebody says, I want to be president, you need to be very careful. Say, Ghana, you're an open country. I was saying, conducting serious medical checks on Bawumia. Because I am very sure that Bawumia is on the line of autism. I am very sure. Because so nya butrena who steady sibi or dead na. The way Bawumia dead. Afeso also unya butre steady and also or the line so detect VAR natural. Into that is my problem. My problem no. Say sa video be me boy there are so many videos of Bawumia when you take your time to watch, and if he needs that help, we can help him. In fact, I have always said even in my family there are autistic people in it. So there's never been a day I have been shy to say I need to help an autistic person. We donate, we support, and we respect them, because when they are given the opportunity, when we give them the opportunity, they also at the end of this prove to that level. Sometimes we all get amazed. I will not be hurt. Say, and the Bawumia will avail himself for us to scrutinize his borderline autistic behavior. Because I am seeing it, and I don't want it to happen one day and somebody will say Kevin Taylor kanye ana kwabena tewia kanye mempese obi betena baby aka. Because when you sometimes watch him very well, the way he laughs, the way he behaves, the way he sometimes forgets himself. Now, sometimes you ask yourself, is everything all right? Is this guy actually is he? I don't want to use the word normal, because you can't say people who are autistic are not normal. And to use that word is too harsh. But is he right? I'm trying to be very charitable in my words. And I feel Bawumia needs to be referred. We need serious referral. Because if we don't refer this guy and get to the bottom of this autistic tendencies, then we might end up with a big problem. And I am not just saying this because we are politics. It is not politics as usual. These are real stuff, real fact. If I tell my team to send videos of things about Bawumia here, actually say we need to be careful. We need to be careful about the way. I'm trying to let you, like, Mama Chawadi, look at this. I don't want this to be about Bawumia, but I want to point to some things. You will be like, okay, now this is the time we need to get serious. Okay, this is the time we have to start asking questions. Okay, Obaka say, okay, now it is getting serious. Let us sit back and start asking serious questions, because to be okasa we are Syria or the DHA and how unserious he is. And you see, and I would love for the man to be open to us, to be honest with us, to tell us, said, this is what I have been diagnosed of. This is what I have been diagnosed with. And that, in fact, say, you people are going to be honest with me. I said TV is being touched back and forth. Who is touching my TV? Mahmoud Bawumia, who is touching my TV in Ghana? We need to get serious. If you touch my TV and I bore right now, the things I go do today, I'm being very nice. Why would on saka me TV ni jai? Why would on saka me TV ni jai?
We were happy that we found oil, but the borrowing of this government, the reckless borrowing of this government, has compromised the whole oil discovery. You need 6 times of our oil revenue just to pay interest, not even capital. It's interest on the debt. So it is a really sad development. I mean, what fundamental issues that affect this economy have been addressed in this budget? You should ask yourself, what fundamental issues? If we had spent, the money's borrowed, and that money borrowed is the equivalent of some $37 billion over 7 years. Now, can you imagine what $37 billion can do in an economy? $37 billion. I mean, it's amazing transformation that you can see.
The investment the government is talking about. We are going to add about 800 megawatts of power.
But we are talking about a record. You can always talk. We are going to do this. The question is, what have you done? You've had 7 years in government. What have you done? I mean, your record should speak for itself. You shouldn't be waiting for the 8th year. The IMF, they can point to even a lot. Oh yes.
They'll point to the Ridge Hospital. They'll point to.
When the Kufuor administration was there, with such meager resources, so much can be pointed to as well. Infrastructure, as John Mahama says, if you point to infrastructure, you are engaging in an exercise of mediocrity. But the IMF managing director put the nail on the head when they said that the borrowing done by this government has been used for consumption. It's not me saying it. It's been used for consumption and not for investment. This is the IMF's assessment. And if you look at the data that supports what she's saying, the infrastructure to GDP ratio has come down from 9.1% when the President Kufuor was in office to 4.8% today. Infrastructure. You've borrowed so much, but you are reducing your investment in infrastructure. So they can try to hoodwink us with pictures of development all over the place. But the reality is that they should have been doing twice as much. They've had 10 times as much resources as the MPP government had, 10 times as much in nominal terms.
So what is the MPP alternative? I mean,
the MPP alternative is going to be it's a very major alternative that is going to be unveiled.
Either the guy has been cloned or the guy is on the line, and we need to be asking questions. There are 2 things here. Bawumia, either he has been cloned or Bawumia is on the autistic syndromatic line. We need to be very careful. The people we elect as leaders. Nipa ye omuso omundi enim. What in some and listen to this. Mahmoud Bawumia say prices of goods and services are being increased without notice. Or no, your president, or no, that by was not or the head of economic management team. Or say ya tutunyo memukura ya monko fo kaye Bawumia or line so me say odo wo line so Bawumia wo line so odo me say wo line so Bawumia ugina line so pe Bawumia wo line so pe odo me say gina line so maye Bawumia gina line so maye ya the line be ma wo Bawumia me say me the line be ma wo kai David or no na or your president na or headed the economic management team no or see ya de tunyo memukura mpo on ti ase me se Bawumia original line so me se Bawumia ya de line be ma wo original line so pe o yese kakre bi pe now mumien kan ne numa asem e din kwasi asem wo Ghana munti asem kan flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has lamented the unpredictability has lamented the unpredictability of the prices of goods and services in the country. So I'm for unpredictability no ebrofo esuntima me nwudwem ho nkyerɛw. Munyina me do muntrɛw. PZ swame alaba ayazongo ehɔ ne ade munyina me do muntina me nya botre bantama de omo de omo pass classic agese omo nka de cross omo nka cross we are crossing the bridge. You see affairs no nka across the bridge. You see bantama for them so across the bridge omo yen kakra. Now where the next one e friend no unpredictability Bawumia say or say he has lamented on the unpredictability of the prices of goods and services in the country. Yes, Mahmoud Bawumia, watchina no ni buofu okasakasa ni trim okasakasa won num ontumi manim pie or say adenti na nyoma yetoto ade mu kura yembo ni pankaye Bawumia onu mom complaini onu na or say yendi nechi na oni nanim nyansa na obegye no onu momu complaining say aden ye tutu nyoma ma yenka wan na enka ngira wan enye wona so ka kire ade kwenti ye tutu nyoma mu ogina line so Bawumia ye de line de be mawo bawo ye de line de be mawo now o kan story ni kwedi ma o say addressing members of the Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs as part of his 3-day campaign tour of the Ashanti region, the vice president assured that he will implement a comprehensive tax amnesty policy for individuals and businesses when he wins the 2024 general elections to become president. Okachira Santofo ahemfo no, okojina Santofo ahemfo no okachira ah, yetutu nyomam dodo. Ono kramporo ni ma de krodira, ono na president. Ono na the head of the economic management team. Ono na jina Asantofo ahemfo enim ka kyerem se waye adwuma. Osa jina o ka kyerem se o complain a kyerem se on tia sesi atoto nyomam. Akwa na ogina line so. Mahmoud Bawumia ogina autistic line so. Bawumia me se me the line de be mawo. Enti okasa na o see okachira ahemfo no mo Asantime mu say oh one de or the strategy bi beba yete ho solve wa o say the strategy beba yentoma obiem. Una we the head of economic management team wa ban na wo so ye tia wo kasa vice president wo bosumi nsia o ka kire say o plan bi wo tim yentoma wansa abo furu ju se nya lefty and ahemfo ne te wo ebo mu nsem me say mo Asantefo ni bi ahemfo ne di mu ye business omo de mo bie companies omo de mo bie shops because of mo omo de mo mba kogu abrochire omo totoka cars akese because mo Asantefo ni bi mama mo kwan na use mu say slaves ahemfo no benya sika sa mo bedi hie wu mo Asantefo ni bi because sebi omo musa nsam wadwa into won tiase o ya de hia me de hia o ya dada me dada o watoka ma toka watodan ma todan masa untumi be wunahuna me o bodam enti se Bawumia tumi gina wenim gina himfo enim ka kire omo se ono kro ntia se yetoto dwoma mu sa na or the plan bi beba obia tax no ye betua pepepe na ende ejuma be na Bawumia ye. The question is, what job is he doing today? Now ejuma be na oya to December there na oye enti se ende ultimi nye se ejuma there any on free officer because the job is still on the table. I've given you a job to do, and that job ends 7 December 2024. And I say 7 January 2025. You are still supposed to work. Your time to log off. You do time now, but log it off. You are telling me, say, me sama watch na time. I break juma good table, so I won't hear. Wabodam. The job is on the table. Now I am for to war. I'm a comedian. We have a can kwasi same way. Enye ahemfo ketekeke o omo no ka che so mako school aburuchire omo te brofo proponent and exponent omo kenkan omo te ase omo no omo se so omo ye economists ne lawyers na obi gina wani mu ama na dwuma na wo yo hene na wa ma eye unkromfo adwuma so omo nkoye adwuma we omo nkododo eye edan we hu na ye nyina ye nya bebi ntina adwuma na omo nyanya ye omo se na ma ye ochene sika na wo hene na woto na sebio on person be kan okure no odi sika be mom so de mom be ka so nka wo yejimifo adenti na Bawumia wa ma na dwuma Bawumia deliver dwuma no all catch us say some man another chance bi ma abra onye de o abra there's still time to do it na so wo hene wo yedipa bonini wo hene dipa bonifo wa konwa na wo say kum o kan okure we dwa buofu hey boy we wallahi hey there na be tuba mama chara de bi wa now hwade bi what is story we Finance Ministry getting ready to pay customers of liquidated financial institutions. Tie. Mahama Bawumia ko jina eya santimemu no. Osi oh. Eye bank egu omu ni nyina no. Tie brofo no ye o. Ma men kan story ni chiro. Later oba be catch us say no kan ye na odi agro. Bawumia, everything about him is a joke. Into for Bawumia serious, you take him serious at your own peril. Ofa Bawumia serious, e say waka kire e dey anoma say onfa na no enkofa gold 50 kilos mbro on to me. Tie or say Finance Ministry getting ready. E kire won te brofo. Maka kire mo say brofo no mtete kire di jimi mo. Or say Finance Ministry getting ready. They are not ready oh. They are getting ready. It is the same as the Finance Ministry is working and it is in the pipeline. The same language. Onte brofo baby too. Tie Bawumia neka. Or say the Finance Ministry is I don't know mudundu mi TV no Ghana. Why are you people trying to turn my TV off? Jack, I don't know mudiana whether I'm yemisa. I don't frustrating my brother sir. TV this Ghana for you and so mudundu and Mahama mesiumu Ghana. Sa Jimina Osla munja sa de no. Yo. Now, my men chawo ade no. Bi no de ko men kwa me TV mo so na mudundum no. Na e ko na e ba na e scratch ade no. $5,000 mo na mutia mame. Mo na mutia ska na mame. Maka chem say munya mu de na menya mu de. Munya mu de. Nkwase afom Google Angel TV na de ebie oma hemu eye size movie ne nkwase a. Odo shows ne Malam TV so Malam 40 se Bawumia Google TV so ga mo ntumi nkodum ne nkwase afo. I don't know what Jimmy Ogana hosa. And over Ghana TV so Malam for nyina no mugu so mte se Bawumia. Bawumia we TV so Malam. Oka se wo TV so ko chiri pɔ so nyamia ye kan TV so. E de nkwase ade no no. Mama TV ni nyina so. Ma men kind story no. Or say the Finance Ministry getting ready to pay. Or say Finance Ministry no boa no ho. Akabo so minsia ni ato abawie. Wo hu se we Jimmy. Wa santimemu a bank obegu no ma odwumagu ye no o ka kire say afei na Finance Ministry na eyo foriata Finance Ministry no afei na omoboabo mo ho hwe onim time foriata kura odware wi a how many hours e di ma di nkufa no ho say ono oboabo no ho abetua sika ma obodam now ma menkin kan na menjudwom nkire o ye de yetu esia ne akire yetu de ya yetu ba yira de akire bibie ko tu firi ye no ano tiase nkwase abe. Addressing professional bodies in Kumasi as part of his tour to the Ashanti region, Dr. emphasized Dr. PhD and the Abedru ha. Mesi me PhD ni Ghana oje $5 an hour. Na menja mejuma we. No PhD holder in Ghana takes $5 an hour in Ghana. No PhD holder. Mon kama nuntum, mon tena kurabaso, na mon dwenwene eye emmoa mo betum di aboa Ghana. Monye din. Na toilet man kura wa brochi oji sika chemo. Ni nyina ni sika, ebusani wa sika, oba yare asika, oyire beja wa sika. Oti abrabom na so weni beje sika. Hypertension ba na ohie dura sika. Famu jimi nko no ha. What is so BP aba me akaka say PhD we there. The thesis is not true and kind na be ma BP akofom. Obodam. E sika sam ai. We got Kevin tell on pesku ye nyina pesku. Da bia sika no school man kan chiro. School na mokoro Ghana no, you go to school to defeat illiteracy. That's all. In Ghana, majority of you people go to school just to defeat illiteracy. Oko school so be to back in kind. Ni aka chen say we di school. PhD for be more Ghana. You went ahead to get a PhD just to defeat illiteracy, to tell people say why a PhD. Ukwe yasia, ya be ma vortic water, ya fengu kapum and one no. We are not going to address that, boss. Strategically, we are not. Mr. S, we are not going to address that. We let's save that because I know it's a trap. We're going to get them. Keep it there. We are not going to address that. Me say PhD nya just to defeat illiteracy. Because I'll say we PhD no. Okwa brochira PhD hon fa so no say training am wiem. PhD hon fa so no say omutumi de eye jet echo wiem. PhD hon fa so no say omutumi car and one kasa driving on self-driving machines. PhD nya say omutumi say COVID-19 about oma yedro bi aso ano fast PhD hon fa so no. Yani PhD hon fa so say be defeat illiteracy, that's all. Ye be ko yie na ye ko bonsa nyaka say ene eye Mr. Dr. eye Sapon a ono so ewo brekum otena brochia na oye the PhD You give you. Dr. Sapon tena broche UK kakra or tena America ne mamie no ho or tena ho ye ne PhD and as doctor wa ye wa kire ade e wa America and then wa back and nyonko akwesiata wawu and the doctor ekuta ne nsemu poly 250 Ghana. Mommy amprene ye wo PhD ni ukuta 250 ohani asafre eye Amwako Francis oye djuma ne shop ewo swame Amwako dia ha ne wo enim bra Amwako ono de obi anim aya okọ Japan ekosesa nyoma e de babro chire bola obi anim Amwako ne store enim ya chiro eye Amwako and Sons and eye ne nyonko ofori ewu ye ose odo kuta ni nsem eye Ghana sike duduo poly 3000 Amwako na wa go school kuta PhD wa bon sa 3000 PhD holder or 250 Ghana the buy or pure water bottled water abuofuru let the PhD work. Ready? I don't mean to be given one. I don't want to say everything about that. Ready? I PhD home economics. What your thesis? Over calling the Bonjour light bill. What about illegal collection? Oh, your PhD thesis. Abuofuru. Inti ukon kranfo yi ase dia enkwade enya kura nkran ni a wa PhD minia okay taflache okay ukon kranfo yi ase a omo monsa wo tese mfantefo omo lo bedi odua nyina no bokọ nkranfo ne mfantefo omo mi no omo monsa nkranfo ne mfantefo ukoye dia yima ya wadwunu so okobọka na wakọ mfantememu se bekoye ye denchem me rekwate me ka abọ wo dab ye ne bezi wezi bana kofie Enkranfo ne mfantifo omo monsa minimum obeyesa me mfantini enkranfo ne mfantifo ya wodefa uji because ebusuani ewu mfantimemu ena makoze sa brass band ena we dey stand ena dia live band obeboka ya ba ne ne ochichise ne ni wo hu mfantifo obo bonsa 2 Ghana 3 Ghana ai otumi beje mic 30 minutes on fanto wo from Evans Wilson Hanson amankasa minyin wo mfantipem road ido ya wa UK ya tena wa ne yenye yanyonko Francis Baden na waka baby na ya bade yenso ye beja kwan ami na mebusia yenyina ya ha we are very 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 sad tonight enyumri ya ban ya bekire Ghana for day ayen ya nipa ya donipa in fact tama ye see do aye ko school no start obeka school sam wa be yase be bom sa bon sa for jibi ko no ha na obekire primary school omokoye amankasa me ni Evans ye see don ye call LA primary owo ye infantiman school ha wonyina wonyim ye wie ne to ado ye call infantipem amankasa me ni Evans ye tete ha na ye nya teacher training college ne ye and ye be wura oye UCC. Fortunately, I got the opportunity to go and further my education in the UK. So but for ye Jimmy Brita na ye Jimmy ade na fantini ye fra obi alote fantini ye fra alote what is say fra fantini bi alote da en fantini for ye Jimmy ti na alote je ko so fantini kwasi abeyi we nanum kankan Jimmy na wa begina ho bonsa ne ko inti ye pede yo kire one day inti minya opportunity Evans the Oyana agent own to kwan. So he's lived here, he worked here, he was a teacher for 35 years. I was in the United States, I stayed there for a little bit into me ben and I miss a call back. Me masters. Me we me PhD nazi into amidzi me wa brocha ma ya bedru hasisia. See some pedegana for there, ya ban on your day, ye rebel on psychic and yako. We want people to know how we appreciate our brother who has passed on. Into Ame Namebusia, Oya Wilson family. Yakuta Yensem, Sika, Oya Ghana, one Sika, Paul. In fact, Wabak, no, almost Obiaba, excuse me. Oya dollars. Oh, sorry. Yekuta yensem oya dollars. Sorry, easy. Oya eunde euphoria no han eno man opel. Yekuta yensem abrochi sika dollar oya $237. Obe sabagara skill no. Now 450 Ghana. Ya Jimmy Bruta. Oh yeah. Ni abo table no teton. Oh, one fa drinks, one fa ko uncle Eko Taylor, ni table no on more fabric PhD one van command. No more to America, but no nyina di udokono. Dia nyina di PhD. Oba brochira ɔte bunk bi mu obi dan a wɔ high ɛna ɔma the basement no ɔte wɔ onware easy ai ɔbɛtena wɔ yɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ bɛɛ 3 wɔfiri UK na wɔbɛyɛ o mesi UK kura tax ɔmo tua yɛhwehwɛ ɔmo apam ɔmo na ɔmo abɔ table ama ɔmo £20 ne abobɔ table ama ɔmo na wɔrekra ɔpɛtɔ lady ebetuma aba sweetheart is a pabas ɔsɛ wɔwɔ eyi wɔ hɔ stew na ɔde bɛn no why the stew no ne mu kakra wɔbɛtuma amam salt kakra me piodated salt ai or bet you £20 or diluted salt or per malt or sape a champagne or £20 oh dear. In California, you crack. Almost I know block streets and yeah, and a patutu. I'm going to order beer every court. I'm going to go police. Nobody speak a basic kind of intente. Kay, over Canada and yourself. In California, I'm going to put here. I'm going to notice beer. You better so pa. Nobody speak a basic kind of why I won't say yaba. Omundim raso enkafon pem raso mo pese mo bedim raso nkan ho enkafon ne fantofon pem sanbo enkafon so de omo so no o tie area ho da omo ma won da no ma hye speaker 13 no ma hye 13 na eyie no egim na obo so ma beje zagbaza pinene no mo de ko biri ni gezre egde eyie obi ewu enkafon bonyo funeral omutumi ye yia ma ne bo na 12 ade tia mu nko adwuma engrafo intumu ade tia mu nko adwuma mutumi ye yie ba ko for no pa 8 na mopon awmache 4 mo so no pa mu nko adwuma na bibia ni obie ma na na engrafo yie na enkrani kakra so ko abrochire na obebon nsa ende jai abosen 11:50 mo behwe na enkrani no wako school kakra ebia oye ni okan ena wabetena broche ye sa frɛ no eye den ye frɛ no ebia ye frɛ ebia Godwin ai enkrani ye frɛ Godwin ende school awakoro ende ohun kra ende ogema ikre ne mu nyamada enkrani ye frɛ Godwin enkrani ebia Godwin maybe oblite anase ebia enkrani awako school kakra na obegema ikre so obonsa ende mu nkoda Oba so tafleche actually Godwin Oblite United States of America and you all know that mincha ga mix gabu English so blofode I was paying no so was abroche ni aba nkran ni wakwa PhD ofra abroche or kan kran na so nka e was paying be kan so nka so blofo kesa nkran ni wakwa PhD or kan kwasi asem kra se blofo kra dia on the onka inti gamashi your friend saying nkranfo eye ebusuan panyin no onka bibia oh me yeah oh blofo no problem so I make any family aka New York is settle with Atankpa ebibio efa eta we just decided to come tafrache openyimbo onupa me sad adventure so bibio sabolai edenche minke family enyo it together a small contribution to make sure that our friend we have been living with in the US, we schooled with him and all that, a decent funeral. Me ofane no be become be guna sum ni nua ba ku bi your friend Josh no so aba I increni your friend Josh no become be guna sum 1 second okay sorry onupa minke donation a funeral organization ga community ga bibio a contribution a poly minche osika oshika brofu shika no a 728 Ghana cedis a convert minya so you are done no me ashem na de mu obonyo funeral again ombedi dokuno wo nyina renam enkase wo mo mawini nyina obekora kase ba kumbo na engrafo renam omutumi wi kase ni nyina unhu kase ba kumbo ade omutumi ye ya no passes no mapon o china no passes na de mu hihye plane mutimu bunya dwumara ene de engrafo no omedi matefo se me engrafo no omefrefre msisi a engrafo no strong short man ene El Capitano me say engrafo no omedi matem nda foke omutwan mama pon me engrafo no bo ha no de omeye me no omudua no de ahyem blazo blazo omu wi na akoyi plastic chairs abesisi abonte no mu girigina so plastic chair ginya me no I was see save na ochina yesenya project fofo ni asatena so no makoyi ya be gina so no mo hye skirt blazo omu tomu da ablagagaza pampa na bodi ni na jam omu dinam ro ma hwenam ni nyina ma monsa 27 Ghana and omo de baye omo pe dokono omo pe chips omo pe tofle omo pe sabolai omo pe bibia omo monsa e dey suman so no nkranfo ne mfantefo all right now bo me ko edim Bawumia asem na nka me be kan no ma me kinkan kirebo addressing professional bodies in Kumasi as part of his tour to the Ashanti region, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia emphasized the government's unwavering dedication to ensuring investor protection. And I quote, "It looks like the Minister of Finance is looking forward to making some payment to customers of the liquidated companies." Or see, oni eye asantifo edwumadifo di nkomo no se o. Menemu ka se de eye me se. Ohun se etese ayese na adwene ye ne se finance minister no boaboa no ho abetua omo a yegu banks aban for musika di ye Bawumia nka no kore wonte brofo into ogina onim no keka nkwase asem we nyina obeso ka che say payment is in the pipeline unhu da. He was not emphatic. He was not able to tell you when and which date or the year politics or can't to trima santini say oh swamini a usika koka bank bia ahye no ye dwene ho finance minister on say we move blame ni from ono ade achina obuso no beka so the finance ministry did not do it ono na the head of economic management team and ono ka kire say odwene say ofri say osusu ho say na adwene ye ne say finance ministry no gada sika omo de betua moka oboa muntie. This is language, this is how they deceive you. It is a uchia se Bawumia ka kire wo say so ka kire wo say the ministry is getting ready oboa. The ministry is getting ready oboa. He is lying to you. Sa statement no a future tense onim so obetua on kan kire but we giminti ochina no pa ofui babetna akan radio so now a kind caption way finance minister getting ready to pay customers and the anuanum de na da ho no mo am wo so ame ene importamu mu am odwuma asai musika ahye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia PhD waba santibe mu ne so amefo akasa o kan o see MPP aban e de nyoma to kwan mu obetua o nsi bi o kan no obeka kire say Bawumia say MPP aban finance ministry o de nyoma to kwan mu obetua sika no and so o say getting ready does not mean you are ready. Getting ready does not even show say you are ready. It is a statement that is not definite. And so adia chia yebenya radio for no oh into uni say oh Bawumia kasa or say abana to nyoma omu tua no I omu tua no we no mo de dada mo omu de bumo omu de jam samwe jimi e no omu de abumo beduru ha. The media is bad, some of them terrible. In his own statement ni say na wa kind your kan na wa chiechi no ka chen say enwumrei asema ye kan say finance ministry getting ready to pay into a journalist I will say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia bae no o say de obetima ka kire eye omo musika kokemu ni say na adwene ye ne say eye finance ministry no ye o ma adwene say omo betua na nipa ne tia because say na da ben sa na ye de chichire man. Because that is what it says here. Me reading the statement, there was nowhere our car said you are going to pay. Or say on you even sure. On to me, I'm a concrete answer. So why do you tell the people and give them false hope as a journalist? Actually, wait, Jimmy. Yanko enim.
Dedi kama mamena Pendream TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, Pendream TV.